everyone, we're group 5. I'm Juju Xiaomingqi. These are my group members, Sally, Li Jiayu, and Ali Luowan. This is our topic, special arrangements presenting a tailor-made travel. This is the content of our presentation. First, Sally will introduce vocabularies of scenario. Then she will continue the scenario part with Ali. Later, I will talk about listening practice part and keep talking about activity part with Sally. After that, Ali will in charge of high-low context culture. Then we will have break time and welcome you to have your comments. After that, Ali will show a video about inside story. Finally, we will have our feedback and choose the best commentator. Now, let me give the floor to Sally. She will introduce the vocabularies of scenarios.
Thanks, Gigi. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sally Liang. Before we move on to the scenario part, I want to introduce you the vocabulary that you may not be familiar with. Please turn to page 44 and repeat after me. The first one is itinerary. Itinerary is the detailed plan of a journey. Here I give you an example. Please repeat after me. The tour operator will arrange transport and plan your itinerary.
The tour operator will arrange transport and plan your itinerary.
The next one is harbor. Harbor is a place near the coast. The people, usually fishers, will stay their boats at here. For example, during the gale, the ship stay in the harbor.
During the gale, the ship stay in the harbor.
The next one is passport control.
Passport control.
Passport control is a place you can find in the port, airport, or port. It's the place that the customs check your passport. For example, when we got to the airport, there was a long wait at passport control.
When we got to the airport, there was a long wait at passport control.
The next one is on board.
On board.
On board means in or on the ship or other vehicle. For example, in case you get bored, we suggest that you use the facility on board during the journey, such as swimming pool or sauna.
In case you get bored, we suggest that you use the facilities on board during the journey, such as the swimming pool and sauna.
The next one is gala. Gala is the festive occasion, celebration, or special entertainment. For example, there will be many stars performing in the Royal Ballet Gala night, held in aid of children's charities.
There will be many stars performing in the Royal Ballet Gala night, held in aid of children's charities.
The next one is cabaret. Cabaret is a full show of dancing, singing, or live entertainment in a night bar or restaurant. For example, before she became a singing superstar, she was seen on the bar's cabaret show.
Before she became a singing superstar, she was seen on the bar's cabaret show.
The next one is program book. Program book is a book of brochure which contains the conference schedule, speakers' information, and the location of the meeting room. For example, you can find the schedule and detail of the events in the program book.
You can find the schedule and detail of the event in the program book.
The next one is take care of.
Take care of.
This phrase has two meanings. In most of the time, it means to protect someone or something, or provide something that the person needs. However, it has another meaning that means to deal with something. For example, all the travel arrangements have been taken care of.
All the travel arrangements have been taken care of.
Another phrase in this scenario is drop somebody or something off.
Drop somebody or something off.
It means to take somebody or something to a particular place, usually by a car. For example, Bill dropped the package off at the office.
Bill dropped the package off at the
The next one is designate.
Designate.
Is say officially that the thing or the place has a special character or purpose. For example, this area has been specially designated for Taichung Arena.
This area has been specially designated for Taichung Arena.
The next one is adjacent.
Adjacent.
That means very near or very close. For example, they live in the house adjacent to the railway.
They live in a house adjacent to the railway.
The next one is spot. Spot means that you notice someone or something, usually because you are looking very hard. For example, if you spot any mistake in the article, just mark them with a pencil.
If you spot any mistakes in the article, just mark them with a pencil.
The next one is resort.
Resort.
Resort is a place that people go for rest or sports. For example, a resort is frequented by the rich and famous.
The resort is frequented by the rich and famous.
The last one is rejuvenate. Rejuvenate means to make someone look or feel young and energetic again. For example, after drinking the soda that you gave me, I feel completely rejuvenated.
After drinking the soda that you gave me, I feel completely rejuvenated.
After I introduce you the vocabulary, Ellie and I will move on to the scenario part.
Good morning. Today I'm going to briefly present the itinerary of this trip. If you would like to ask questions at any time during the presentation, please feel free to do so.
Ellie, you can begin now.
On the morning of the first day, all class will depart at 8 a.m. from Kaohsiung Harbor. Our attendees will assist you for passport control and uploading personal luggage.
Excuse me, will our special guests travel on the ship at the same day?
No, they will leave for Hong Kong the next day by air. We will have another presentation about this special itinerary later. The class can enjoy all the free entertainment and food and beverage on board. At night, they will attend the Captain's Gala dinner and enjoy a fantastic cabaret show.
Please don't forget to arrange the President's welcome speech at dinner.
Yes, it's noted in the program book already. We will arrive at Hong Kong early in the morning on the second day. Then we will have lunch at a newly opened K Hotel. In the afternoon, they can do some shopping.
Where are they going to shop? Will they need to take care of their own transportation?
Don't worry, we will provide them with a number of options. Then we can drop them off at any designated shopping area.
That sounds good. How about a night program?
At night, we have the awards dinner, and that's when the special guests will show up. By the way, there's no problem with showing the company logos on the adjacent building as requested. All clients can clearly spot the logos as they enter the hotel.
That's great. I appreciate all of your efforts.
On the morning of the third day, they can enjoy the free facilities offered by the resort, like the golf course, the indoor and outdoor swimming pools, the yoga room, and the nature trails. These leisure options can help rejuvenate them before they need to head back to work. And around them, we will drive them to the airport to bring the trip to a close.
After our scenario part, we will give the floor to Gigi. She will move on to the listening practice part.
Thanks, Sally and Ellie. Now I'm in charge of listening practice part. Please turn to page 45. Before we start to listen to CE, let me introduce you some vocabularies first. The first word is escort. Please repeat after me.
Escort.
Escort. Escort means to go with someone and show them a place. Let's see the example. People on the tour will escort by an expert on biology.
People on the tour will be escorted by an expert on biology.
The following word is feasible.
Feasible.
Feasible means able to be made, done, or achieved. The example is, with the extra resources, the project now seems feasible.
With the extra resources, the project now seems feasible.
The third word is deck.
Deck.
Deck means a flat area for working on, built across the space between the sides of the boat. The example is, we sat on deck until it was dark.
We sat on deck until it was dark.
The fourth word is cater. Cater means to provide and sometimes serve food. The example is, who catered your party? In our textbook, it used a phrasal verb, cater to somebody or something. Cater to means to satisfy a need or provide what is wanted or needed by a particular person or group. The example is, internet shopping caters to every conceivable need.
Internet shopping caters to every conceivable.
The next word is sales rep.
Sales rep.
Sales rep is an abbreviation of sales representative. Representative. It means someone who travels to different places trying to persuade others to buy their company's products or services. The example is, she works as a sales rep for a restaurant supply company.
She works as a sales rep for a restaurant supply company.
The final word is general manager.
General manager.
General manager is that a person who is in charge of all or part of an organization or a company. The example is, he's been made general manager for exploration and production projects.
He's been made general manager for exploration and production projects.
After we know the vocabularies, let's listen to the CD. Please pay attention on the conversation. The conversation only play one time.
Listening practice.
Please listen to the following dialogue and answer the questions.
Special requests. Good afternoon, Mr. Goodman. Nice to see you again. Please have a seat.
Thank you, Ms. Westfield. I'm wondering if there are any special requests for this incentive travel that you'll be making.
Indeed. We have two kinds of requests, basically. One is from the company, and the other is from our VIPs.
Okay, I'd love to know what they are.
We want to create some excitement for our top sales reps, so we're thinking of preparing a little surprise for them. We'd like first incentive travel to secretly arrange our employees' families to show up at the awards dinner on the second night. We hope their honors can be shared together with their families.
That's a great idea. That's really special and would be very touching. There shouldn't be any problems with preparing this surprise. We will contact their families and organize an alternate travel arrangement for them. We will have them fly to Hong Kong directly.
One more thing. Is it possible that the walls of the surrounding buildings next to the hotel can display our company logos? This can increase our employees' pride in who they work for.
That sounds very interesting. Honestly speaking, we have never had this particular special request before, and it may take extra effort to talk with the owners of these buildings, whom we have never worked with before. At this point, I cannot make any promises, but I'll have a discussion with the senior management to see if it's feasible. I'll make sure to let you know the results as soon as possible.
Great. I hope you can help us. The final request is one made by some of our VIPs. They hope they can play golf while staying in Hong Kong. Can you arrange that?
I don't think this should be a problem. Actually, we also arrange golf incentive travel. Your VIPs will be staying at our contracted top resorts with their own golf courses. For beginners, the resorts also offer helpful instruction with local golf pros. By the way, the cruise ship we're going to use also has a mini golf course on the deck. I bet they're going to enjoy playing it a lot.
Fantastic. I'm pleased to know you can cater to our special requests. Should we confirm our itinerary next time?
Yes, we will finalize the itinerary by the end of this week and should be able to present it to you early next week.
Good. The Director of Human Resources and the General Manager will also join your presentation next week. Hope everything will go smoothly at that time. Good luck. 1. What is the main purpose of this conversation? 2. What special arrangement did First Incentive Travel promise? 3. What will Roger probably do after this talk?
Let's check the answer together. The first question, what is the main purpose of this conversation? Does anyone know the answer? Okay, Kuna.
A. To propose special requests.
Yes, the answer is A, to propose special requests. The second question, what special arrangement did First Incentive Travel promises? Does anyone know the answer?
B.
Yes, the answer is B, arranging VIPs families to be secretly escorted to Hong Kong. The final question, what will Roger probably do after this talk? Does anyone know the answer? Dora?
B.
Yes, the answer is B, prepare a presentation. After the listening part, I will keep talking about activity part with Sally. Please pay attention on our scenario. We will ask you some questions. Good morning, everyone. I'm Gigi. It's my great honor to be here to present our special Decide incentive tour for Formosa Company. In the following presentation, I will go through itinerary. First, we will meet in Formosa Company at 7:30 a.m. and head for Tainan.
Excuse me, what transportation are we going to take?
We will take coach to Tainan.
Oh, okay, please go on.
First of all, we will go to Chimay Museum. It is a classical Greek architecture where it's a famous place for taking pictures. Many cyber beauty just like you like to selfie themselves with the architecture.
Sorry to interrupt. Do we have any plan B for the rainy day?
Good question. If it rains, we will stop outside activity and go inside. There are a lot of artworks. The museum collection is divided into 5 categories, including Western art, natural history, and musical instruments, arms, and artifacts, which are worth seeing.
Oh, sounds interesting. How about lunch?
We are going to eat traditional Taiwanese local food in Guohua Street. In the evening, we are going to Salt Museum. You can find a salt that represents your birthday. In addition, we will give special coupon for our clients, which can buy anything in outlet store. Finally, after present travel, we will eat dinner together and back to Taichung.
It sounds wonderful. By the way, when will we arrive at Taichung?
If everything goes well, we will be Taichung at 9 p.m.
Oh, thank you. I got it.
After my presentation about this trip, does anyone have any questions? Don't be hesitate to let me know. Thank you for listening.
Now here we have the 3 questions. The first one is, what is a plan B for a rainy day? Does anyone know the answer? Yes, Anna.
Visiting Chimay Museum.
Yes, the answer is C, visiting Chimay Museum. The next question, which location is not included in the itinerary below? Yes, Cindy. Yes, the answer is for B, for Zealandia. The last question is, how long does the trip take? Yes, Judy. Yes, the answer is 1 day. Before we give the floor to Ellie, I want to make a conclusion of the scenario part and activity part. As we know, if we are a travel agency, we have to make sure our itinerary has met a customer's needs. It's like if customer has a question about our itinerary, we have to explain it as clearly as we can. Now I will give the floor to Ellie. She will continue to the high-low context culture part.
Thank you, Sally. I'm Liang. In this part, I would like to introduce the examples about high and low content culture impact the meeting. Before starting, let's do a quick recap. When people are in the high content culture, their communication relies on the context or situation. It's implicit and indirect. Their communicators rely on using nonverbals to convey its meaning, especially if a negative one. On the other hand, the people in the low context culture, they rely on meaning of the words to communicate its meaning. It's direct. What you hear is what you get. As we can see in this example, Gigi wanted to discuss the project timeline with Sally after the meeting, but Sally indirectly expressed her wish to meet before the meeting rather than after. Her words are, "Sure, I will be there a few minutes earlier." This is so typical of somebody from the high content culture, where they find it difficult to actually say no, or they find it impolite to say no.
Could you read the letter? Hi, Sally. Could you enlarge the font? It's fairly visible in that.
Hi, Sally. Hi, Sally. Please see the attached report from the last meeting. Perhaps we can take a couple of minutes after today's meeting to discuss the project timeline. If it is convenient for you, thank you, Gigi.
Now let's see the reply.
Hi, Gigi. Sure, I will be there a few minutes earlier. This report will be passed on to the supplier who was absent that day. Thank you. Thanks, Sally. Next, I'm going to show you a video about a meeting difference between the US and Japan.
I have spent the last 16 years studying how cultural differences are changing global organizations. But I have not always been working in a cross-cultural space. I was raised in a very monocultural place. I was raised in Minnesota, in the Midwest of the US. And it was only later as an adult that I started living in other countries and kind of learning about these things. But I had a situation early in my career that got this all started for me, where I was on a trip to Japan with a Japanese colleague, and I gave a short presentation to a group of Japanese participants, and at the end of the presentation I asked them if they had any questions. When I looked at the group, no one raised their hand, so I went to sit down. My Japanese colleague then said to me, "Erin, I think actually there were some questions. Do you mind if I try?" And I said, "Okay, fine." So he then stood up, and again he said, any questions? And again, no one raised their hand. But this time, he looked very carefully at the group. "Oh, do you have a question?" And the woman said, "Well, thank you, I do." And she asked a fascinating question. And then he did it again. "Oh, do you have something you'd like to say?" "Yes, thank you, I do." So afterwards, I said to him, how did you know that these people had questions? And he said to me, "Well, it had to do with how bright their eyes were." And I thought, wow, they don't teach us that in Minnesota. So then I said, "Well, how do you know how bright their eyes are?" And he said, "Well, in Japan, we don't make as much direct eye contact as you do in the West. So when you ask people if they have any questions, most people are not looking at you directly. But a few people in the audience are looking directly at you, and their eyes are bright. And that indicates that they would be comfortable with you calling on them." So the next day I gave another presentation, and again I asked if there were any questions, and again no one raised their hand. But this time I thought, okay, I'll just try. So I did as he'd instructed, and I looked carefully at the group, and I saw, just as he said, that only a couple of people in the room were looking directly at me. And if I really thought about it, well, yes, that's okay. Their eyes were bright. So I gestured to one of them, and he kind of went like that. And then I said, "Would you like to say something?" And he said, "Yes, thank you." So this was a very important experience for me because, well, there's an expression in Japanese, which is kuki yomanai. They shorten it to KY, and it means someone who is unable to read the atmosphere, or someone who's unable to read the air, meaning to pick up the communication that's in the air. And here we could see that he clearly could read the air, and I was clearly KY. But I also saw that with a little bit of assistance and direction, that I also could become better at picking up those signals that were in the air.
In the video, the speaker said that in Japan, people don't make as much direct eye contact as she does in the West. Therefore, if the audience has questions, they will be looking direct at you. That means they will be comfortable with you calling on them. Japan is a country with the high contact culture. Their words are often interpreted using the tone of voice, gestures, and subtle facial expression. Next time, if you have an opportunity to work with Japanese co-workers, you must be careful. Don't be a KY who unable to read this atmosphere to pick up the communication that's in the air. This is our presentation. This is our presentation. Thank you for listening. Next, we will take 10 minutes break, and then we will invite each group to make comments. Thank you.
讲中文。